Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the video. I'm Get Good Guy, and today I'm continuing my coverage of the starter class weapons with the STEN of the medic class. I'll be sure to throw my coverage of the other starter weapons for the assault, support and recon classes in the description and my pinned comment as and when I complete them. But today we're focused upon this SMG, so I'll be going over its in-game stats, the pros and cons of the weapon and how best to use it in my opinion, as well as what to expect when going up against other classes in Battlefield 5. So let's jump straight into this with those basic stats. And Simthic.com hasn't yet put out their in-depth stats for Battlefield 5, so these really will be basic. But essentially the STEN is a well-rounded SMG, doing everything to a competent degree in terms of stability, hipfire, range potential and ammo capacity, with a class joint leading ammo count of 32 rounds per reload, a more than capable amount for dropping multiple enemies if your aim is on point. But to balance this out, it has the joint second lowest fire rate stat, firing at 540 rounds per minute, so it doesn't drop people quite as quickly as you may expect for an SMG. To put that into perspective, the Sturmgewehr 1-5, the M1907 SF and the STG-44 of the assault class all have higher fire rates of 670, 770 and 600 respectively. This means your main strength is that you should have decent hip fire with an SMG by comparison. In my opinion though, and it's one that appears to be shared by many, the SMG is currently lag behind other options for killing potential, which means the STEN falls into this category. This isn't a matter of it not being lethal at all ranges, because they shouldn't be, but it doesn't dominate at close range against a lot of other options purely because its damage times by its fire rate just doesn't provide a quick enough time to kill. However, DICE do appear to be planning to remedy this situation with an SMG buff in the reasonably near future. So with that in mind, how are you best off using the STEN now, whilst also considering that it will likely be a stronger weapon soon as well after a patch? Well, as the stats indicate, you kind of have free reign to do as you please. It's a good all-rounder where SMGs are concerned. The slower rate of fire makes it pretty easy to control, so holding the trigger down and just snapping from target to target at close range is a good way to go. This also allows you the luxury of holding the sights at your enemy's head level without too much issue most of the time, which can help to lower that kill time. Plus, I highly recommend tap firing at range. It's very possible to pick people off from far away if you get used to doing this. No, it doesn't mean this is a good range weapon when you consider options in the other classes, but as far as SMGs go, this is one of the more adept ones for mid to longish range, although there are still better out there. Overall, due to the current abundance of faster time to kill weapons out there, you likely will need to get the drop on the enemy or just be a better shot than them fairly often. So I personally tend to enjoy a mixture of pre-aiming areas to give me an advantage when playing defensively and incorporating lots of slides and jumps when playing offensively in order to give me an advantage over unprepared enemies. Obviously though, this weapon can be altered by the specializations you use, and I'll quickly show you those options here. So I believe this is what you start with, although I can't remember for sure because I'm playing the game, but I think this is it. So you get quick aim, where you aim down your weapon sights 33% faster. You then get ported barrel, your weapon recoils less horizontally. Improved accuracy in aim fire when stationary with barrel bedding, and then recoil buffer, your weapon recoils less upwards. So you kind of start off with something focused on ADS fire, let's say, being accurate with ADS fire. Once you reach rank 4, you can then reset this and do as you please. So you could pick one of these top two, so rather than quick aim you could have quick reload if you wanted, so you reload your weapon 15% faster. Then you have to pick for the middle two here, two on each side, let's say, so either like that or like that. That's really well explained, but so basically rather than going with ADS on this side, you go for hipfire with enhanced grips, so your hipfire becomes more accurate, increasing the range within which you can hipfire effectively or efficiently. Then polished action reduces the accuracy penalty from firing in hipfire, allowing you to fire for longer. And then at the bottom there's, as we've already seen, recoil buffer, or custom stock, improved accuracy in aim fire while moving. It's going to be up to you what you prefer. This is going to be if you want to strafe a lot more and still have, you know, your fire hits if you're in ADS. But basically, a lot of it's going to come down to if you want to ADS or if you want to hipfire. Now I should also mention that I use the NIDAR sights on it. You can use as you please, maybe the iron sights or something else. For me, the NIDAR sights just works best, and that's what you're seeing in this video. So what can you expect when you run into the other classes, and how are you best to approach them? Well, against the assault class, you're currently likely to struggle a little bit. If they aren't aware of you, then you can tap fire them down from range, but you're at a disadvantage in an even 1v1. So this is where my advice about pre-aiming or jumping and sliding really comes in. You can contest best at close range, but you need to be on point. Against support, it's a somewhat similar story, but there are differences. You'll suffer at close range against shotguns, but you'll have the advantage further out. You can compete with mostly anything else at close quarters, although still be a little wary, especially against something like the KE7, and it's not worth taking anyone on that's already bipodded. Then, against recons, it's pretty simple. At close range, you can go nuts, you'll win most fights, and at long range, you should usually just leave them alone. The recon should kill you if they know what they're doing. And so, that's my coverage of the starter medic weapon, the STEN. It's a fun gun and gives you some versatility that will likely also be improved soon, but currently, it's not that strong an option simply due to SMG deficiencies. That said, it's absolutely possible to do well with it if you use it appropriately. So what do you think of the STEN? And what's your favorite weapon in the game? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed the video, a like rating would be fantastic. If you're new here, be sure to subscribe and turn on those notifications with the bell button so you don't miss a ton of Battlefield 5 content I've got coming your way. And finally, feel free to join the Discord server in the description and my pinned comment to get more involved with the community. Now let's head over to the board of awesome for the epic people who support the channel on Patreon. That support helps me to do this every single day, so thank you so very much to everybody on here. If you want to join them on the board of awesome, the links to the Patreon page is in the description and my pinned comment. And with that all said, I'm Get Good Guy, and I'll see you next time. Laters.